Hi, thanks again for taking the opportunity to complete CATNB's initial benchmark as part of the process of developing a centralized application orientation service. This is going to make it possible to establish degrees of consensus among individuals in an institution and among institutions, which will then lead to the creation of scope and the actual model that will be presented for consideration and discussion. On this first page, we're capturing people's names and the institution they're with. Rest assured that nobody will be using your name. It's simply for me in case I need any clarification about something you wrote. In this case, I'm selecting Other as my institution. And then moving on, and we find the information on how to actually do the benchmarking work. So we've got 7 different areas, everything from admissions, electronic transfer, PLAR, credit transfer, credential transfer, student financial services, and any one of a number of different items. So what you are doing here is looking at a set of options and trying to find the option that best aligns with the activities and the objectives of your organization. Think of it sort of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You'll find some maybe too much of this, some maybe not enough of that, and you're using your experience and knowledge as well as your highly educated gut feelings to pick that option that's just right. It's important to remember that there will be lots of time when the actual model is developed to fine-tune and to discuss things in detail, so please don't worry there. This certainly isn't the final word to be said on things. But if we look at admissions, for example, you can see the options range from not including it in the model of the service at all, to having information available, to having staff perform various functions, right up to a model where central staff would make admissions decisions on behalf of the institution. If I were an institutional representative, it might become quickly clear to me that I do want it included in the model, even if it's only text, and that having staff take over decision making is something that doesn't align with our institution's objectives. So I would start looking at some of the middle options, and option 3 might look like the one that was a good fit for me, where information would be available on a central site and there would be a link to the admissions applications hosted by the institutions. How long do I think it might take something like that to develop the site, to share my information? Perhaps 8 months based on other projects I've worked on. And then again, if you had any other comments, that links are already available. And in here you could also mention if there was an option that we hadn't covered, if you found you were a bit torn between 2 different options, or likewise if this was an area where you felt that you knew less about things. All of that's information that you can put in here. Any new initiatives your institution is doing, new sorts of things. So if you were upgrading your SIS, and that was going to take several months, that could be useful to put in here as well. Or if there were turnover in particularly important roles. Then you'll see next one is electronic transcript transfer, same sort of model with options, looking for a time estimate and useful comments. You work this way through all 7 of them, and then there's a place for final general comments at the end. If there's anything you want to say about the process or something that you might feel applies to the service at a functional level or a structural level or something like that, that goes beyond these individual items. So as you can see, it's straightforward. Again, we're looking for your initial just right intuitive sense based on your education and experience in the role, and then we'll be coming back with some more detailed things for your institution to consider. Thanks again for taking the time to do this. Look forward to reading your responses, and have a good day.